Howdy, stranger. You passing through? This here desert is my home. Tourists like you ought to be careful if you ain't used to the heat. I grew up on my Uncle Eddie's ranch, where I learned riding and cattle rustling. But it's government land now. Seems like all government land these days. Now I'm traveling around the ranches that are left. Some folks would call me a cowboy. Not many is used to, mind. But I've been training to ride and rope for almost half my life. Name's Raymond Edward Dawson, Ray for short. And this sleeping beauty over here is Poncho. Anyway, why don't you tell me something a little cheerful? Heartwarmer. Thanks for telling that one, amigo. Is it still traveling if you don't have a place to go? Traveling and home are one and the same in my mind. Anyhow, you got a hopeful story, amigo? I could use some cheering up. Huh. Wait, that one's supposed to be funny? Back in Chicago, Pa was threatened to send me to Eddie's ranch if I didn't behave, like it was a death sentence. It may not sound like luck, but Pa drinking himself to death meant I was free to come out here. So, you know any good jokes? Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna tell that one next time I share a campfire. Being a cowboy ain't just about the work. It's about the choices you make. You gotta do right by others, but you can't forget to do right by yourself, neither. You're no good to no one if you can't take care of yourself. Anyway, it's that time of the night. You got any really scary stories? Amigo, that's the scariest story I've heard in a while. And you say that really happened? Sad? I was sad to see the ranch go, yeah. Would have been one thing if it had just kept on being a ranch in someone else's hands. But Going to the government? Well, all I know is Eddie wasn't too friendly whenever those folks in suits came around. But anyway, you know some funny stories, right? Amigo, that one's gotta be a lie. Don't treat me like I'm stupid, okay? Authority? I see government folks in the desert a lot, thinking they have authority. Your badge ain't gonna save you from an empty canteen, from kissing bugs or rattlesnakes, and not from the sun. Man's only authority in the desert is over his survival. Anyway, Uncle Eddie always said it's rude to keep on gabbing about yourself. So I'm headed out. Going up this way, staying off the road. Maybe. I'll catch you later, amigo.
Jagged sandstone rises above the lip of a hollow basin in the rock. A crowd is gathered in the foothills. Their excited whispers wash over you, echo off the ochre outcrops. You can almost pick out fragments of conversations. The voices around you are heightened by the surrounding stones. An argument, hissed from behind clenched teeth, sounds like shouting. A child's plaintive cry sounds like a shriek. Beneath these, there are older voices, ones that belong to the earth. The rocks preserve them. A woman steps forward. The crowd parts for her. She opens her mouth and begins to sing. A smoky, vibrant alto. The sound resonates in the basin, and the mountains join her in a reverberating round. Even after she finishes, the soft strains of music linger.
cielo, porque cuando la calaca regrese a medir mi valor, habrá mucho por allá, pues voy a cargar mi pala en mi espalda agotada. Voy a guardar mi ruego entre mis suelas, pues cuando mi llama llegue hasta abajo y a mi tren se le acabe guiar, no va a haber nadie más que cabe mi hoyo. Pues yo no tengo amigo más que el viento.
Slowly he turns. His eyes don't quite make it to yours. His whole body keels back over the wooden railing where he perched and down into the dusty road outside the saloon. Now you see the gunshot and the trail of fresh blood that leads back inside. Kneeling by his side, you offer platitudes you know are no good. His hand takes yours, and into your palm he presses 2 silver coins, slick with blood. Ice, he pleads, the last of his life rushing from his lips. You carefully lay the coins over both closed eyes, trying as respectfully as you can manage to fasten them in position. Then you move on. Before you turn the corner, you look over your shoulder. He's still there.
Ride from Tulsa en route to Santa Fe, and there beneath the blazing sun my horse began to sway. Was then I heard a thunderous sound come rising up behind.
Hey, good to see you, amigo. Seems like the desert didn't swallow you up after all. This place is changing. You ever see those big clouds rise up over the San Andreas? That's where the ranch was. They say the bombs they were testing turned all that white sand to green glass. Feels like everyone's trying to take their own piece of the frontier and use it for God knows what. All that land, fenced up, shut down, signs reading, keep out, no trespassing, turn back, get lost. The longer and farther Poncho and I ride, the more barriers we seem to come across. What good's a cowboy without an open range? But anyway, you know some funny stories, right? Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna tell that one next time I share a campfire. Joy, you ever get to see a desert rain? No matter where you are, everything from the cacti to the coyotes, I swear you can see them all dancing for joy. But anyway, amigo, what's the most exciting thing you've seen out here on the road? What a story. Man, I'd never go bored sharing a campfire with you. Even though I ain't got no job, I still got my freedom. And that's worth more than any work you can find. But anyway, you know any sad stories, amigo? That's a heavy one. Thanks for telling it. A man's ranch used to be his family. But nowadays, they don't hire you to keep you around. They hire you for a spell, then let you go. Off to the next one. I bet you've seen some really wild, exciting stuff out there, though. Tell me about it. You live an exciting life, amigo. Home? A lawman don't like it when you tell him you ain't got a permanent address. Too many folks think a home is a building. For me, it's where I lay my head when I get tired. I bet you've seen some really wild, exciting stuff out there, though. Tell me about it. I guess we got different senses of humor, amigo. Traps? Well, a man can be locked up by the law, but also by himself. Longer I stay in one place, the more I feel like I'm doing myself an unkindness. Gonna lose too much water if I keep going on like that. And the sun's rising too. Time to get going. My path takes me this way, out across the desert. I'll see you some other time, amigo.
The hoofbeats of 12 horsemen, their course locked onto mine. White rider, ain't fixin' for to join your faded line. White rider, don't come to claim me for I had my time. from Tulsa, the riders still in tow. They were dressed in white from toe to tip, pale horses trod below. And last among their number, a chilling sight to see. The 13th horse lay empty, with a saddle meant for me. White rider, ain't fixin' for to join your faded line. White rider, don't come to claim me, for I had my time.
The strains of ragtime rise from an almost tuned piano. At the bar, an older woman, dark-haired and striking, toys with her cigarette holder. "Hope you don't need lodging," the bartender tells you as you sit. "The hotel's haunted." At that, the woman chuckles. It's an old story. Way they tell it, there was a lady living on the 5th floor. She liked to have a good time. Now, she had a boyfriend who didn't like that so much. Got jealous. One day, she disappeared. Can you guess what they found in her room? She grins at you. No one. Just a pool of blood. And a note from the boyfriend saying she'd be sorry if she didn't listen to him. He got arrested. Couldn't prove anything without a body. But he stopped drinking after that. Maybe even stopped being mean. You think he did it? She laughs. I doubt it, but it scared him good. Some fool hotel maid thought she saw the lady in that room after. Now everyone says it's haunted. She laughs. I'll tell you a secret, though. If I'd have known what would happen, I wouldn't have gone back for that necklace. He's parked his car by the side of the road. A luxurious black thing, waxed so that it mirrors the stars in the sky overhead. The desert dust doesn't seem to stick to it. You find the driver, alone, retrieving something from the trunk.
Well, what's it look like I'm doing?
He asks, as though it's obvious. He doesn't sound like the Okies driving on the road west. He has the cold tones of an educated New Englander. The pointed feet of a tripod dig into the coarse sand, hoisting his telescope heavenward.
Not the stars, friend.
His tone is outwardly irritated, but unable to mask his glee at correcting your misapprehension.
Looking for a planet. There's a ninth one, orbiting far beyond Neptune. Nothing yet, but we all know it's out there, waiting for someone to prove it exists. And once you can prove something exists, you get to name it. Can you imagine? Naming a thing that every generation hence for all time will remember you for?
The neon-gilded main streets thronged with revelers. He passed beneath a glittering marquee onto a dazzling casino floor. A croupier stands behind a red and black wheel, wearing a spotless suit and an easy smile. He winks as you approach.
Care to place a bet?
He grins at you, a snag-toothed smile.
Black or red then, stranger? Outside bet. Even odds.
He spreads his hands, the ball pinched between forefinger and thumb. Nothing but the tick-clack of wood as the ball jumps from red to black and back again. It comes to rest on red.
Sorry, stranger.
The croupier grins.
Sometimes it breaks that way.
The pair steps up to take your place.
All on black.
The snake flicks its tongue.
That's close enough.
It is coiled atop a carved stone marked with faded flecks of paint. The snake laughs, its whole body convulsing.
It's very special. A good luck charm.
It tilts its head.
I'm supposed to guard it, but I'm hungry. If you bring me some meat, you may have it.
The heat has made a family of mice slow and easy to catch. You drop them before the snake, and it gulps them down without chewing. It slithers back, exposing the object.
Take it.
It hisses.
I won't bite. Trust me.
You reach for the idol. The snake quivers as your hand gets close, but it stays put. It flicks its tongue.
Don't be disturbed by how it looks. It'll bring you luck.
The snake slithers off into the long grass. It's an idol, about the size of your clenched fist, carved into the shape of a human head. It's an ugly thing. The side that was pressed into the dirt is a face contorted in grotesque agony. Could this really be a good luck charm? Good things sometimes wear foul guises. Who are you to judge? You stow the idol, trying to ignore its unusual weight. You fear your feet will sink into the dry emptiness of the great basin. Every step is a syncopated crack of dried ground and salt underfoot. Even the vultures avoid this wasteland. Was there a road you were supposed to be following? Your throat has gone numb. You're not sure you ever had a tongue. The lonely iron-colored rock rising from the ground is the first thing you've seen in days. The air around the stone shimmers drunkenly in the roasting heat, distorting a figure standing before it. A rider, white from the tip of his hat to the slender legs of his horse. The buttons on his coat glint silver in the sun. Dust doesn't cling to his pressed white trousers. You're tired of ghouls and very near done with psychopomps. Time contracts in the heat. Suddenly, he stands all too close. Some croaking noises clatter out of your mouth as you beg for water, but he doesn't hear you. He's not here for you. You slide down to your knees as he rides on towards someone else. Ahead, on what passes for a trail, another horseman, face down on the ground, ragged and empty. His horse dead a few steps before the spot where he was pitched into the sand. The white rider canters toward him, slow but unerring.
Sobre las aguas de esta tierra más tardar llegarán fuera de aquí, porque cuando caiga la noche llega.
They've taken over a booth at the roadside diner, tables strewn with papers and forms. He's in shirt sleeves, revolver hanging loosely off his chest. She's in a moss green dress from 2 seasons ago and a felt hat that's begun to warp. You slip into the booth next to him.
Tell me again where you saw him last?
He asks.
He was in the car with me. We were just driving down the road.
So where did you stop the car? He asks. She sounds exasperated.
I told you. I never did.
They have the same accent, same drawl from somewhere in North Texas or Oklahoma. But his is subtler, although he's been trying to shake it for a few years. You notice, for the first time, how handsome they are together, how much like a detective movie. But her face is broken by distress.
We were going 40 miles an hour when he vanished. All I saw were those damn lights.
In the baffled silence that follows, you find your cue to leave.
Don't come to claim me for I had my time. Those 4 days ride from Tulsa, the riders still in tow. They were dressed in white from toe to toe.
In this plaza, jacaranda trees nestle among adobe structures. A man sits in the shade of the largest one, plucking notes on his guitar. Wind rustles their branches and stirs up sounds of shouting, truncheons on flesh. An old woman fanning herself looks up at the noise. When you ask her about the shouts, she sighs. Voices from the riot. Police stormed the plaza, rounded up everyone in it, put them on a train to Mexico. Even people who were born here, like my brother. Intellectuals, socialists, and artists used to gather here. Now, a branch scrapes at a freshly painted wall. A man shouts at another to run towards Bunker Hill. Memories, she finishes. But those of us left, we don't forget. We're still here. History is a palimpsest. Voices linger, echoes that resonate when we listen.
Estos son los que me enterrarán, que me entierran. Pues voy a tirar estas piedras sobre las aguas de esta tierra y más tardar llegará